So what happens when two third-generation Arizona women authors who are passionate about their state start talking about experiences, insights, and memories of different places? They don't stop talking. They write a book, and then they start a podcast. Welcome to Celebrating Arizona with Julie Morrison and Lisa Schnebly Heidinger. Grab your favorite drink and settle in. We're celebrating Arizona, going everywhere from A to Z. And we're off.
So today is a very special episode of Celebrating Arizona because we get to hear from Teresa Welborn and you get to hear from Teresa Welborn. And Teresa Welborn is not only a show listener, but she and Julie don't go back quite as far as she and I do, but go back a ways. So you met her at Larry's service in 2022, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is when I walked up to Julie and I said, because you had pointed me out to her, and I said to Julie, "Are you the Julie Morrison?"
That's cute.
And she looked at me and said, "Yes." And who are you?
And did you say, well, I've been doing public television fundraising with Larry for, God, how many years did you guys do that?
Oh, I have no idea. I had been doing the fundraising since 2007, but I'm sure he started way before that.
But the two of you had crossed paths there since then.
Yes. Changing hands.
Changing hands. Thank
Yes,
you.
you and Julie did a fabulous book salon. I don't know if
That's a nice word.
the best word for it, but that's
I think
what
that's
it
a great
seemed
word.
like to me.
Yeah. And
Where,
then,
yeah, the audience loved you guys.
well, we love the audience. And then I think our best time was at the U of A Book Festival this past year. That was fun.
The book festival is fun no matter what, but hanging out with you and Julie the whole day, gold.
And you and I the night before, because we went to the dinner.
That's right. Oh, that was so much fun. All of
That
it.
really was. And I was so lucky to have you there because I'd never been to one, and you'd done dozens probably by then.
Yeah, I was a veteran. I am a veteran book festival goer for sure.
Yeah, that was only my second one ever. If Julie were not off what she calls hunting for jackalope, that's what it is, yeah. Of course, if anybody could find one, it would be Julie.
Is Julie searching for a jackalope right now?
That's what she says, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till she gets back and talks about that.
Especially if she has one.
Yeah,
That
I
would
wanna
really
hear
well,
all
considering
about
all the poems she has about, thunderbirds and things like that. If anybody can do it, she can. But meantime, one of the things that you know a lot about that I only looked at is the lifetime awaited third new Flex. Tell us all about that.
Okay. For those Arizonans and visitors who have traveled the Phoenix to Flagstaff north and south route for years and years and years and years and prayed there was no crash, we now have relief. This is just the best news ever. It's 23 miles of improvements. I'll just lay that out between
I wondered how far.
Yeah, Anthem and Sunset Point. Well, this is a podcast and not visual, so I will just tell your listeners to go to improvingi17.com.
Terrific.
And there are pictures, great drone shots of the flex lane so you understand it. It is fascinating. It's fun to be driving on it. I highly recommend that if you're going there in that time frame and they're open, give it a try. Well, it's a big project, 23 miles.
God,
And just kudos to the design team who thought that up. These are the only flex lanes in Arizona. So
that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I think it's marvelous. Larry's youngest sister, Paula, from when I was a kid, wanted something like this. She didn't live to see it on this side, but I know that she's just thrilled because she always wished somebody could do something. And look, somebody did something. ADOT did something.
We did it.
all I think about is pavement and I suppose exits. But there are so many things that come before those that I don't even know about.
So when you think about what does ADOT do, we plan, design, construct, maintain, and operate the system. And every one of those things that I just said has tentacles that are huge. And that's just specific to building the road. The things that I do are parts of, the support mechanisms, support systems.
Now, everybody is going to wonder, are you the person who gets to write the slogans that go above the roads?
My team does, yes.
Do they? So you are.
But that is, the sign itself is run by another group, but the words that go on the sign,
which is the whole point,
my group.
Oh, that's terrific.
That's part of the communications group. Yeah.
Those are kind of how most of us know you. Well, that's your, with the college, the sports are like the front porch. So those signs are kind of like your front porch.
Front porch, that's really great. And we have contests every year to name snowplows and to have the best slogan.
Oh my gosh. Now individual snowplows get names?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I want to name a snowplow.
Well, next time we have a contest, I'll let you know.
Can the public really participate?
Yeah.
That is beyond cool.
So I want to tell you the winners of the 2024-25 winter season snowplows. Control Salt Delete is a name. Blizzard of Oz.
Oh, that's precious.
Scoop Dog. Darth Blader.
Wow.
Plowosaurus Rex.
Oh, that's such fun.
And Sleetwood Mac.
Very, very cute.
So there's some very clever people out there.
So yeah, I may not win next year. Those are really sophisticated. That's terrific. Is anything else named besides snowplows?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We could think of things, though.
Let's go to a break. AZ250, the commission helping us all celebrate the nation's 250th birthday, is putting together 250 treasures around the state. The first 25 being honored include the Tubac Presidio. It's about 45 minutes south of Tucson, but you can feel in another century. The adobe, charming crooked streets, repurposed old buildings around the original Presidio make it a fascinating place to visit. And when you're done with history, shopping and meals and arts may not be done with you. Enjoy. So here we are back, and we get to hear. Now, am I right that Arizona is cutting edge in the field of, what is it called? Wildlife. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Wildlife crossings or wildlife connectivity.
Connectivity.
Because the goal is there's two goals when we have wildlife crossings on state roads or interstates, and that is to, number one, be safe so we can reduce traffic fatalities and injuries. And number two is maintain habitat connection.
Okay. And how long has that been part of ADOT's purview?
I am aware of 2000 was the first planning for the US 93 overpasses.
And I hate to say this, but I don't know where is 93, is that Kingman?
That's this is near Hoover Dam. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, good. Start there.
I'll start there. So there are 3 wildlife crossings on US 93 near Hoover Dam that were completed in 2011, and these are for bighorn sheep.
Wow.
So we work with Game and Fish, and they monitored the bighorn sheep to see exactly where on US 93 their habitat crossing would be. And I think they had put some, monitoring on them And this is when they did this study part, I hadn't started at ADOT yet. And they determined exactly where the crossings should be.
Wow.
So they built them, and after building them, what I really enjoyed is they put cameras up. So when we first were able to see that the bighorn sheep were actually using the crossing,
Oh my god.
it was celebratory.
Oh, I bet. And are there little green arrows? I mean, do bighorn sheep just?
It's it's pretty extensive because they fence the right of way and they create a pathway for them to be able to go straight up to the crossing. Wow. Yeah, and this is really what's, in addition to the connection part of it, it's 86% reduction in crashes on US 93.
Oh my gosh. That's huge.
It is.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible. I wonder if any of the bighorn sheep we saw in the canyon ever got that far out. Probably that's too well, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know their full range,
either.
so.
Interesting. And do other animals?
Yeah, they could say, I just came from the canyon and I'm going to go head over to the US 93.
Are you really?
No, I'm just thinking the bighorn sheep.
Oh, I see. Now, can rabbits use it or coyotes? Or...
Well, the beauty of these is that once they build them for a specific species, they find, especially on the ones that they put on 260, those were built for elk and deer. But when they study it, they've captured up to 16 different species that are using the crossing.
Holy smoke!
Yeah, I mean, it's really just phenomenal.
Now, that 260, is that Payson?
So it's east of Payson, and right now there are, let me see, 11
Holy
on
smoke!
260, but right now they're building 3 more. They're going to be building 3 more in 2026 at Lion Springs.
Lion Springs. I didn't know there was a Lion Springs.
Yeah, see? If you don't know there's something in the state of Arizona, that's phenomenal.
Oh, believe me, I don't know way more than I do know. But that is so cool. And is Arizona front of the pack, middle of the pack, back of the pack in terms of this kind of work?
I don't have that information, but I will say this, and this is specific to Willard Springs, and I'll tell you in a minute. We applied to the Federal Highway Administration's Wildlife Crossings Pilot Program. So that was just recently. So clearly other states are doing it.
Okay, terrific.
I don't know if we're the first or if we're the lead, but we are doing it.
All right, us. That is so marvelous. That is so doggone marvelous.
And of course, in Tucson, where I am, we have 3 on Oracle Road, just north of Tucson. And that was built for numerous species, not just one, but numerous.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
But you started this because this whole conversation started because you were traveling on I-17 and saw an overpass and you thought, there's no exit.
Exactly. I thought, okay, that looks like an overpass, but there are no roads. And I was totally nonplussed. Totally nonplussed.
Yeah, so this is, for people who love milepost numbers, this is milepost 327.
Oh, okay.
At Willard Springs. So once again, this is for connectivity, and it is currently being built. So that's why you saw it. Part of a project along I-17. It's between Kelly Canyon and Munns Park, and it's called the Willard Springs Wildlife Overpass. And there will also be fencing, put in there, and other. While we're out there, we always do other upgrades while we're there. So
Really?
yeah. So this is, and I just told you we had submitted a grant for this. This is one of 19 nationally to receive funding. So that tells you right now how many are currently being built or planned anyway.
So lest we tend to just focus on bad things going on in the world, this is a really, really, really good thing.
It's essential. We have to maintain the habitat connectivity.
That's
And I will say for
marvelous.
people who would like, I'm giving you this very high level overview on this. More information there's so much on the ADOT website, azdot.gov. Just put wildlife in the search and you will get everything you could ever want to know about this subject. Photos,
Marvelous.
videos, standards, guidelines, everything.
Fabulous. Well, you know what? Then we're going to break right there because we have not yet talked about another aspect of your life. So people can go to that site to learn more about the wildlife. But break two. Thanks to Visit Flagstaff, providing all kinds of information to all of us, I have learned things I never knew. For instance, Lumberyard Brewing Company not only shows you your guest faces, the San Francisco peaks, and passing trains in one view, but it's in a building that was part of an actual lumberyard at the end of the 1800s. I'd never known that. Once you get into town, drop into the historic train depot, which you can see from Lumberyard Brewing, before you set out for anywhere else. You're going to learn something. Visit Flagstaff. Okay, now, this I think is so important because you are the only person I know who does these two things. You do stand-up comedy and you did, was it 42nd Street?
Yes, it was.
Tell me about those. Those are, Lindsay's one of, and you know Linz, of course, my brother, a phrase fold in their character. You're the only person I've ever met who has done these two things. So start with either one.
Can I add on scuba diving to that too?
Sure. Although I have met a few other scuba dives, but yes.
So I'll start with tap dancing first. When I was a kid, I wanted to take every dance class possible, ballet, tap, everything. But I come from a family of 8, and my mom said,
8 kids.
8 kids.
Man.
And I asked her if I could take, all my girlfriends are taking ballet and fun stuff. And she said, honey, if I give you dance lessons, everybody in the family will want dance lessons, and I can't afford that. And I said, oh. So I went to every person in my family and asked them if they wanted dance lessons. Early data gathering. I was that way as a child.
Oh my gosh.
So I asked all my brothers and sisters, do you want dance lessons? And they all said no. So I came back to my mom. I said, I polled the family, nobody else wants dance lessons. So your comment that if you give them to me, everybody's going to want them is not true.
Brilliant.
I'd like to have dance lessons. She said, honey, I just have to be honest with you, we can't afford it. So I didn't get to take any dance lessons till I was an adult. And I belonged to the YWCA, and it's the YMCA. I get those mixed up. YMCA, and okay. I would go to a fitness class there, and they had babysitters, and I took the kids to the babysit, or they'd have pool classes or whatever. And they had a big sign up for tap dance lessons, and I said, oh, I'm in.
Really?
So I started taking tap dance lessons, and my teacher said to me that Southern Arizona Light Opera Company is going to be putting on 42nd Street at that point it was about 18 months away. They said, and they are now, there's lessons being offered at France Dance Academy if you would like to audition.
Wow.
And I said, why not?
Man, so you're a mother by now.
Yeah, 2 kids.
And a professional.
And
you have
I was working just part-time. So I went over to sign up. I signed up for tap dance classes, and lo and behold, it's Carrie France that we went to high school with.
Okay. I don't think we knew each other.
Yeah, well, she married a lovely gentleman who was on Broadway and who was a dancer. She was a dancer too. They opened up the studio. So just
Okay.
Tucson is such a small world. There's only 1 degree of separation.
Isn't it though? Yeah.
So she said, okay, Teresa, let's go. We are going to teach you how to audition for 42nd Street. And I proceeded to take classes every Saturday. And I got to the point where she said, I think you're ready. And auditions occurred. And I show up for auditions. And I didn't know, because I've never done this before,
Yeah.
that it was also an audition for singing.
Oh.
So if you came into audition for tap dancing, they were also going to audition you for singing. And I thought, oh my God, I don't sing. So I said to the people there, I said, I don't sing. And they said, just go in there and sing Happy Birthday. So I did. They said, where's your sheet music? And I said, I have no sheet music. I mean, sheet music would be no good to me. I don't know how to read sheet music. So I said, I don't sing, but they said I could sing Happy Birthday. So they just burst out laughing and started playing Happy Birthday. And I sang to it and they said, great, thank you. And when they called me, believe it or not, saying I had made it into the show, they said, just don't stand near the mics.
But you are then a double threat. What is a triple threat? Dancing, singing, acting?
But act.
How about so you hit 2 out of 3 right out the gate.
Right out of the gate. So that was the most fascinating thing I'd ever done. Was number one, audition. You know how you see those auditions? Okay, this is how they do it, and they give you 8 beats, and then you have to do it right away, just like that. And that is exactly what it was.
Really?
They did all these moves, and now you do it. I'm like, what? Yeah, it was intense. And then rehearsals were, I'm going off memory here, 6 weeks, I believe. Every day, except for Sunday, from 5 to 11 p.m.
Whoa.
And wow. And I was just at what was called in the ensemble. So I was just a backup singer. I was not a lead. I was not anything. I was just the backup dancers. So, but that was still a lot of work.
But you were on the stage in 42nd Street.
Yeah, we had 8 shows
That is amazing to me.
with wigs and dress and costume changes that you would not believe. I remember having to backstage change in between numbers, and I had 64 beats to change a costume.
That's all?
And you had dressers back there helping you. Yeah. I mean, all this stuff I learned, I didn't know anything about the theater. I didn't know any of this.
Gosh. To me, that's almost like saying, oh, yeah, I was a race car driver. I mean, that is such a specific thing.
Well, Lisa, I have to
do.
tell you, if I had known, I wouldn't have done it.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
It sounds like it was a lot of work. Are you the only person you know who has done well, I mean, obviously the people in the cast, but it's not, most of us haven't done that.
I would agree. I did meet a friend who, Christy Long, who's been a buddy ever since. She was also in the show. Same thing as me. Never done it before.
Wow. Now, let's up it a little. Does she now do stand-up?
No, she does not.
Okay. And how on earth did you get into that?
So that is another one of those things where, classic Teresa, I don't know. That sounds like fun to me. A good friend that we both know, Nancy Stanley,
Yes.
she decided that she needed to do stand-up probably 15-ish years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Not that long, but in that time frame. And she started doing improv on stages, and she would do laughs here in Tucson, and she would go on cruises, comedy cruises, go to New York. I mean, she was really
And
great.
speaking to your Tucson is a very, very, very small place. She is one of the few people on the planet who was Larry Schnebly's office mate.
Yeah,
They shared an office at Canada.
And
course.
Nancy Stanley and I met at junior league. So you just never know how you're going to meet people. So she then noticed that Tucson did not have a lot of any female-only comic shows. So she put together with Mary Steed a deal with Laughs Comedy Club in Tucson that they would open up on Sunday. They're not normally open on Sunday. I think they close Sunday and Monday. That open on Sunday for a female-only comedy show. The owner would bring in a crew to open the bar and open the kitchen and do all the mic work and all that.
Wow.
And they could keep all the revenue, and it was a fundraiser. So any any like ticket entry, and they would have raffles, and they would raise money, would go to the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society.
Oh my God.
So she put this deal together, which I thought was brilliant. And she started running her all-female comedy shows, and I would go to them and support her. And I love comedy shows. And she would have at each show what she called virgins. So the estrogen.
So first timers?
Yeah. So the estrogen hour is what the name of it was called. And she would have female comedians who had been doing improv and comedy already, but then she would bring up some virgins who'd never done it before but wanted to do it.
Wow.
So I'm just looking at these people thinking, wow, that looks like a lot of fun.
Now, see, I cannot imagine anything more terrifying. I honestly can't imagine anything scarier than that. But you did it anyway.
So Nancy then said to me, I didn't go to her and say, I want to do this. She came to me and said, Teresa, you're going to be the virgin on my next show. I said, okay.
Wow. Wow.
It might have been a conversation where I said, maybe it was a possibility, but I don't remember saying my hat's in the ring, but it was done deal. And my name's on the thing and I got to do it. So, you write what you know, and I was working for ADOT, and I sat down with my husband, who was my partner in writing, and I said, this is my idea, and he helped me write it. And I memorized it, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I got up there, and I did it, and they laughed in the right places, and in some places I didn't expect.
Nice.
But it was just such fun, and I was hooked.
God, I'm so impressed with that. So impressed with that. So how often do you update your material?
When I find a topic that's worthy of writing.
Okay. What's your latest?
I have 2 in the hopper right now.
And what are those?
2 shows. One is, one is about partners being equal to operating systems in a computer. And sometimes you have to upgrade them. And
Really?
and sometimes you have
And
to
how do you do that?
download. I'm not going to tell you. It's part of my bit.
I have to come to the show. Okay, fair enough.
Well, that one's still in writing phase. And one I've completely written is a very funny story about Dean. A trick that he played on me that is just hysterical.
Oh, terrific. I just think that is the bravest thing I've ever heard of. I really
Actually, the performing is easy. The writing is hard.
Wow.
I think you could do it, Lisa. You get up there.
That is insane.
You get up there and you talk about your book.
Oh, no. Oh, but being funny is a whole nother thing. I mean, that's like, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I'm so impressed with you for that.
Well, I appreciate it, but it's just how I think and how I write. So just being me.
God, that's fabulous. And just so everybody knows all your multi-levels, you were also on the Grand Canyon.
Oh, yes.
Were you ever on the Grand Canyon? And actually, that leads to something else, which is, 2 things. So every show, when the podcast posts, the day's coffee mug is the little slide. In your honor, today's coffee mug is the Arizona Inn.
Oh.
And it's actually the second Arizona Inn coffee mug. I have one from decades ago and one current. And I don't know if you get to tell people why, but you are certainly a patron of the Arizona Inn.
I'm happy to.
Tell us.
I am at the Arizona Inn on a monthly basis, the last Sunday of the month in the lounge with a group of women that whoever's available shows up at 11:30, and it's sometimes 5 people, sometimes it's 12. But we are, can I say what we're called?
Yes, you can.
And we are B squared or brunch bitches.
I love that.
Plus now I'm 3 blocks from Arizona and I can walk.
You can. Isn't that magnificent? Well, so today's mug is in your honor.
Oh. And who doesn't love the Arizona Inn?
Who doesn't love the Arizona Inn? Absolutely. Yeah, it's in the friendship book. It's in our bones and blood and spirit and everywhere.
And
else.
we've had a few patio parties at the Arizona Inn. Yeah.
Well, and you came to Tom's and my 25th anniversary wedding.
Absolutely.
At the Arizona Inn.
Yep.
You and Dean were there.
Many, many, many memories at the Arizona Inn.
Isn't that marvelous? Terrific. Oh, lovely. Well, 1,000 thanks, my dear, for coming and sharing this stuff with people. I'm just so delighted you did.
Well, 1,000 you're welcomes.
Well, 1,000 thanks.
Well, and I'm a fan, love this podcast. I patiently wait I know it drops maybe late Monday night, but Tuesday morning is when I just patiently wait for your podcast.
And you don't wait that long because you are one of the few people who is a fellow member of the Dawn Patrol.
Yeah, the Dawn Patrol.
You are early. I love that about you. One of the many things I love about you. That's
well, I'm just an early riser, and we both know our fellow Dawn Patrollers, and
Absolutely.
I know it's okay to text somebody at 5 a.m. because I know they're up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that about you. Well, thank you so much. Now, can you fill in Julie's last line, which is bye for now?
I can.
Go ahead.
And I'm honored to. Okay, bye for now.
Yay! Very good.
We'd really like to hear from you about anything this show led you to think about. Write to us at celebratingaz.com. The wizard behind making a conversation into a podcast is Tom Heidinger. The music comes from Daniel Blatton. And I'm Dana Cooper.